Howdy there. Okay. It's been an interesting, well, race weekend at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Here are some of my live reactions to just the sprint and the qualifying for the race.
Sprinting.
Oh yes, Max had a good start.
Lando Norris gets the reaction time. What's the second phase like?
Max has an amazing start.
Side by side with Antonelli. Russell diving to the inside. Aggressive stuff for Verstappen. He gains a position, and we see Norris with the race lead. Antonelli in second. Very
yes!
In the wall. In the wall.
Well, not really, because Norris is in the lead. I kind of need both of them to get out.
In the barrier.
Okay, I'm gonna go over some things. I got a list of notes and yap to go over. First thing on my list, Piastri throwing the bag.
Was the apex of 2, get on the throttle, and you could just see the white line and the puff of spray that came off on the left-hand side, and boof, we're heading.
He just bends it straight into the wall in turn 1 on like the, what was that, like 5th or 6th lap? That was pretty embarrassing. I really feel bad for him. I feel like there's something going on inside the team that's making him throw the bag that bad. It's all happened since Azerbaijan, which was a long time ago, but just everything's been going back downhill for him. The team's been against him, it feels like. I mean, honestly, I was kind of cheering for him. Even though I'm a Red Bull fan and I'm a fan of Max, I was cheering for him. But then he just started throwing the bag, and now Norris has been able to snatch on that, and he's now leading the championship. He needs to lock in and get a good race start for this race weekend. I think he's starting P4 in the race, so he really needs to get a good start and get going. Norris doing what he needs to do. I mean, like the whole race, he did pretty flawless. Nothing wrong. He did get his tires pretty worn out during the sprint race, but he's doing pretty good, and I think he's going to probably bring that into the race weekend unless there's rain, which is fingers crossed, hoping for rain as a Max Verstappen fan, but it's possible. But yeah, he's just doing what he needs to do, and yeah, if he keeps that up, he might win the championship like that. Okay, Max was doing amazing during the sprint, during the quali. I mean, it was just fantastic. He wasn't even doing that bad. And then it came to this qualifying for the race. He just the whole car just went to buns. That he had no pace, absolutely zero pace. Apparently, they went for like a strategy gamble for setup, and it didn't work out, as you could tell by his pace. And now he's probably starting P16. And if I'm being honest, it's giving me a little bit flashbacks from last year. But I don't know. I don't want to put that much, risk into that. He might not actually be able to pull it off like he did last year. I would say the chances of him winning the Grand Prix is probably less than like 5%. But I would love it if he could. That would make my whole year if he could do that. Hamilton. Okay, he did well at the start of the week. The sprint quali did kind of alright, P11, but the sprint race he did really good. I think he finished like P7, P6, which is a good recovery from P11 during that like short amount of time with the red flag on top of that. But then came to this regular race quali and he's just buns. He was just like Max. I think he got like P14, P13. Not that good. He's pretty well right back there with Verstappen, which is very unfortunate for Hamilton. I really feel bad for him. Leclerc did a pretty good job during the whole sprint. Like I think he started P8 and he finished P6. He was just ahead of Hamilton. He got ahead of Fernando Alonso, which he did a fantastic job of. The same with Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso did an amazing job. Put him up there. We need to talk about him. He did an amazing job for Fernando Alonso. Let's go back to Leclerc. I'll go to Fernando Alonso in a second, but Leclerc did pretty good job, and also the regular race quali, he got P3, which is really well for Leclerc, and he might be able to hopefully, fingers crossed, bring the fight to Norris. Fernando Alonso's defending, impeccable. That was amazing from him. He tried his hardest and he held Leclerc off for like 15 laps there, but then Leclerc, of course, eventually got by. But he did a pretty good job and finished right ahead of Hamilton, I think it was. But yeah, not too bad of a race from Fernando Alonso. I'm excited to see what he can do. Well, not race, sprint. But I'm excited to see what he can do in the race. Antonelli, fantastic weekend for him. He's doing amazing this year as a rookie, I'm not going to lie. And yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do during the race. He scored some good points during the sprint. And yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do. Hoping rain for Max, personally. But If there is no rain, we'll have to see what he can do from the back of the grid. That's all I got to talk about for the sprint and sprint race and just the regular quali for this race. I'm really excited for the Grand Prix tomorrow, and I'll see you guys tomorrow after I watch the race.
The next day.
Well, what a race. That's all I got to say. I'm going to first start off with, let's go with the Ferraris. That was an interesting race for the Ferraris. Double DNF. To be fair, I think Leclerc easily could have got a podium. Just Piastri screwed him over by hitting him, as you can see in the clip. But Hamilton, I feel bad for him. He got screwed over as well with the front wing. He had an unlucky start and all that. I really feel bad for him. Everything just went downhill. The car lost all of its pace after the wing broke or got stuck underneath the car. So yeah, I feel bad for them, but I mean, that's just the Ferrari life. I think they'll come second in the championship. I think they'll get the Mercedes, but it was a bad weekend for them. I think they'll do better next year. Hopefully 2026 will go better for Hamilton and Leclerc. Okay, let's talk about Antonelli. Antonelli was doing amazing. He did a great drive, got P2 in quali, so he started on the second row. And then Piastri came along, pushed him into Leclerc, caused an incident. But even with damage, Antonelli was still able to finish second with Max Verstappen hunting him down, which I think was just fantastic. He had an amazing drive and a well-deserved P2 finish for Antonelli there. George Russell. He had an okay race. I think he started like P5, P6, and he finished P4, I think it was. Yeah, he finished P4, which was not that bad for George Russell. He had a pretty good race, and I think he did a well job. Piastri. Interesting race. Even though he started P4, he finished P5, but he did have a 10-second time penalty, so he did good recovering with that. But still, that was a horrible dive bomb. I don't know what he was thinking. It was he had no control over the car going into there, and yeah, he needs to lock in if he wants to. I think the championship's over. I think it's Norris. It's Norris all the way. He has it in the bag. He's making outrageous moves when he doesn't need to be doing them. Norris doing what he needs to do. He started first, finished first. There was a minute there where Max was ahead and he pitted. I'll go on to yapping about that later. But yeah, Norris did what he needed to do, led most of the laps of the race, and yeah, won the race. And not too bad of a job done for him. Max being Max. That's literally what I wrote down here. Max being Max. He did what he needed to do. It was literally deja vu of last year. Starting from the pit lane, and he got all the way up to first, and then Red Bull. I don't know what Red Bull were thinking. They must know something that I don't know, but why did they pit? There was 18 laps left. He had like 8-second gap to Norris. He could have easily defended, but they decided to pit him and put on softs and make him go through the grid. He could have finished second easily if they would have just left him out. But they must have known something that we don't know to make them pit, because Max didn't complain on the radio or whatever you want to call it, when they called him to pit in. So there must be something that we don't know. But overall, Max, beautiful race. Finished on the podium, which was somewhere he didn't know he was going to finish. He thought he was just going to score points this weekend, but he actually finished on the podium. So yeah, he did an amazing job, and I think I'm really proud of him for being a Red Bull fan. I think that was a amazing race, and all the lords to Max. Championship still there, maybe? I don't know. I need Norris to DNF twice. There's no way. If Norris doesn't DNF, then championship's off. But yeah, amazing race for Max. He did well recovery, and I think, yeah, I'm pretty proud of him, what he got done. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think Brazil this year was definitely one of my more favorite races to watch. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
A move to the inside, and that is